B is for bookkeeper and beekeeper. Today we're going to be building 2 English cottages that together make the shape of a bee. And living in them are going to be 2 of the most adorable elderly Sims who have a little crush on each other. Let's get straight into the build. But wait, we can't do that because me, in my astronomical intelligence, just accidentally deleted the first 2 hours of footage. Luckily, I spent most of it f***ing around with the roof. So here is an extremely quick roleplay of what you missed. Oh, hi guys, welcome to my video. Look, we're making 2 houses the shape of a bee. Oh, now we're separating them. So we've got our 2 different cottages that are across the street from each other. Oh, the roof. Oh, I hate roofs. Oh man, for an hour and a half, basically. Oh, look, let's put logs on the walls. That looks very English cottagey, and stone on the bottom, and then we can decorate it with different beams going all which ways. Now we're putting some windows on, and I'm basically going to rely super heavily on the cottage living pack, and we'll also put window boxes. Every window needs to be covered in window boxes. Now for this, I'm thinking that one of them is going to have green as their primary color. That's going to be Bonnie's house because the car's outside. She's green, that's her van, and then Bertie's going to have the cute Mini Cooper. He's going to be the blue. These are so perfect up there. Oh my goodness. Look what I found. I found a little bee. Bernie is getting a little bee immediately. Oh, it's adorable. And then I reckon we give Bonnie a fox as it matches the knocker on her door. I'm in love. On this side, I want to go for a couple of bay windows. It's an easy way to give the house some shape where it is lacking. Why don't we do red for Bonnie and blue for Bertie? I like how the cobbles line up with the wooden columns. Maybe we do one more up here just to differentiate from the back. Red and blue. I almost feel like it should be green and blue because the car's out here. Okay, let's do that. Green instead. Oh, should I swap these ones too? Then let's just give them a couple more windows down this like alley. Green for Bonnie, blue for Bertie. I don't know how I feel about those actually. They look a bit out of place. We'll just make them wood. We'll give Bonnie some neat flower boxes. Then I reckon Bertie lets his grow a little bit more freely. I love that there's one with blue flowers and with a planter that matches the wall. I think that's so cute. The wisteria is purple though, and it's kind of throwing me off. I wonder if we get some blue flowers for the entrance. I mean, look how cute that looks. I like putting some trellis down as if he's grown the blue flowers on purpose. I might just gravity pull these out a bit so they look like they're growing on the trellis. Change the trellis color too. We need to give them a back door. This one is so whimsical for our little beekeeper. And on this side, probably just a simple door. We'll go for green though to keep the theme going. And then above the doors, as some extra decoration, we've got to add an awning. That's huge, but it works really well and takes up a lot of space. And for this side, perfect. So I finished the outside. These look amazing. On to the insides. We're going to start with Bonnie, our bookkeeper. She's had a career as an accountant and she's been really good at it. She's gotten to the point where she could retire, but she really enjoys working, so she still does a lot of bookkeeping. Just part-time now and again. She also volunteers at the town's food bank in her free time as well. I feel like she's very busy, very much like, don't get in my way, I'm gonna do what I want to do. She just really likes her work. Squeeze a small dining table in here too because she does live on her own, so for the most part she doesn't really need to have a massive dining room, but they do have a bit of a crush on each other, so I imagine sometimes she invites Bernie over, cooks him something, so we'll make sure we can seat 2 Sims. Does kind of look like nothing's supporting the cabinet on this corner. Maybe I mix and match from a different pack. Don't think it even needs to be a matching color. One more modern one. I mean, that is what people do sometimes. They mix and match what they've got with new stuff. I really think that one could work as well, especially in that swatch. Should we do that? The wood really works. Yeah, let's do that. Mix and match. These wooden hearts are giving exactly what they need to. She's quite a tidy sim, so we won't add too much clutter. Oh, I've just found this teapot. That's way better than the kettle. In fact, can I put it on the oven? Oh my gosh, yes I can. Now it looks like she's heating up her pot of tea on the oven. And we'll just fill these shelves up with an assortment of items that she might need cooking. We could add some other stuff too, like pans that she's left on the counter. They're actually clipping to the spaces. These aprons fit just about perfectly under there. She needs some artwork. I'm feeling one of the gallery pieces. This one's adorable and it's got loads of like landscapes on it, so that seems to suit her really well. On this wall, I reckon we do a mirror, especially as we're about to go up the stairs. This one is so pretty. I used it in my last build, but it just works so well. The kitchen itself is done. Let's do the pantry. I reckon we just get more cabinets, more shelving on this side. Maybe we go for a different color in here as well to mix it up slightly. The blue. More cabinets this side. They just look a bit silly because they repeat so much. Put a cabinet down to hide the archway that's coming through. Maybe wrap it around again. It's certainly full in here. What do people put in a pantry? It's just lots and lots of storage, isn't it? And then we clutter. Now we've got these snap and stash pantry bins. They come in all sorts of colors. I'm going to fill the shelf with them. Whew. I don't ever think I've done a room with that much clutter before. Now I'm sure about the floor layout, we should move on to the entryway. This one's so chic, and it's got to be paired with a really long mirror. Longer! Okay, that's the right width, but I don't like the glowing panels. What about 2 arches? Oh, that's so good. The gold matches the handles quite well too. I quite like these dried branches for a bit of a statement piece. Then we pair it up with a cockerel, a basket for your clutter. Now, what phone would she have? Look at the little bear. She's a very sensible sim. We'll give her the brown one. Oh, I quite like the rising height of this. It's quite fun. We're in the middle of the countryside, so we will give her some wellies by the door. Over here, we'll do the bathroom and her office. I love doing multiple pieces of artwork spaced out in a bathroom. Bathrooms aren't sexy, but I think it's a way that you can make them look a little bit nicer. Fill up this shelf with bits and bobs as well. Maybe a broom too, and we're done. I'm so excited to build the office because this is where she's going to spend most of her time, so we get to make it so cozy. A desk is the equivalent of eyebrows. It defines the personality of whoever lives in there, so it's very important we choose the right one. Something that says, I'm quite serious, but a little bit fun. Ooh, this one looks like it could convert into a standing desk. Very practical. I reckon we put it facing the window with the flower boxes outside. That's such a cute view. Oh, I'd want to sit in that chair all day. And then quite a sleek computer, actually. We can bring out her elderly side with the lamp choice. It's got some cute patterns. I like the orange. Shrink this down. Like that's fun. Now, what else would a bookkeeper need? Probably a lot of records. So let's get her a bookshelf with plenty of open space for files. She's quite an organized sim, so it needs to be quite tidy. I like this one. On the diagonal is so good. These filing cabinets are perfect. I actually used them in my last alphabet build as well. We need a cozy rug to tie everything together. I love the idea of putting up a couple of pieces of her grandkids' artwork. I reckon we hang them from the top of the window, and she'll see them every time she goes to work. We need a little plant to keep her company at her desk. I feel like a big snake plant, maybe a little cactus as well. They're quite arid plants. Maybe she's quite a fan of those. Either way, that kind of sections off the files a little bit and makes her desk feel a bit more enclosed, which is a lot more cozy. She'll definitely keep a spare pair of glasses by the desk. Oh my gosh, what about a paper mache creation that her grandkids have made? They have a fox swatch! That ties in so perfectly to the fox stencil in the stained glass window above her house. Maybe that's the name of her house, like Foxglove Close or something. This is meant to be a librarian's book sorting cart, but I'm imagining she's gone to like her local antiques shop and picked it up, and she keeps a lot of the books she needs to do her work close to hand in that little cart. And that is our little office finished. It's full of so much charm. I think we've really nailed her personality. On the main area, I want to put some columns down, carry on with the theme that we've got outside. I've actually lined these up as well so that they match with the outside. We need somewhere for a really big fireplace to go. We We've put the chimney at the back on the left side. I reckon this wall here is pretty close. Sometimes chimneys have a in them, so it might do that in the roof. This fireplace is gorgeous and it matches the brick that we've used for the walls really well. I don't know, because of the back door, if we can put the seating area for the lounge directly in front of the fireplace, but we can at least have it nearby. I'm thinking we just use up this L-shaped area. Be cool if we had more L-shaped sofas. Okay, hear me out. What about if we put down one of these? It looks like one of the electric armchairs that I've seen advertised all the time on the television for the elderly. I'm not sure what the in-game mechanics of it is. I think it might be for giving like foot massages or something, but it looks like an electric reclining chair, and that's what we're going to say it is. I like that two-tone brown. We'll put that in front of the fireplace. So that's where she sits on her own. Then maybe a bit more seating over here. Oh, this was so good. It even looks like it's had quite a few years of use. Maybe this little thing as well. It's a bit of an ugly mishmash, but I think that's what we're going for. By the fireplace, we'll give her a little rug that she's either knitted herself or maybe one of her friends has knitted for her. I don't have many swatches. I'm not sure any of these are working very well. I reckon her friend would definitely do a coloured one for her. Maybe that one. This will be a mini challenge in the challenge to see if we can make this work. I like this TV console. It's a bit cracked up as well. Again, it's aged. I just plonk it there and we'll give them a nice big television. Yeah. I like how she seems to have modernized some areas of her house, like the office, but the living area, she's just kept the same sofas that she's had her whole life, so they're a bit aged now. I just like the clash. Another really aged rug. I don't know, I think this is giving too aged now, like to the point of unlooked after. So we'll get to the clean version. We need a big statement table lamp. This one works well, kind of giving pineapple. I want to give her a chess table somewhere. I feel like Bunny would come over and she would make him play chess with her. I just imagine she's got the mind for it. I'm gonna put it over here. Quite like that spot by the window. We've also got to put a dog bed down because she would definitely have a little puppy to keep her company and love going on walks with them. Where should the dog sleep? Maybe here, right by the fireplace. That's adorable. They need some food and water too, so we will just pop it by the kitchen. This shelf is so perfect by the back door. The dog's got to have some toys as well. I can't put sculptures on this bay window, which seems silly, but we're going to fix that with a shelf. Perfect, that looks a lot more full. And it makes sense, right? You would fill your shelf up with things. I love how this living room turned out. It's full of just the right amount of life for somebody who never really sits down but likes to have a space to chill where she's got time. The last thing we've got is this awkward gallery stretch, but I've worked out what I want to do with it to make it nice and practical. We're going to make a utility room. Let's do the washer and the dryer different colors. This shelf fits so perfectly in that gap. Oh my gosh, these look like men's shirts. What about if Bonnie does Bertie's laundry for him? Any excuse to invite him over. I mean, he's going to need this clothes washing, what? At least once a week. Maybe like a little wicker chair as well, so maybe she like has to take a break mid sorting things. Ironing board too. Then I like this little table of succulents here. A simple piece of artwork on this wall would look nice. These sheep are sweet, but I don't like the black frame. It would be great if the frame and the picture insert were interchangeable. I like the texture of this one, especially for a laundry room. On the other side, I really want to do a wall plant. This one's adorable. I've sized it up. I don't know if it looks a little bit silly big now, but I'm gonna run with it. Love that swatch. I'll pop some folded towels too. What else goes in a laundry room? Maybe some baskets. Oh, we could put some dog food down. If I had a pantry as gorgeous as hers, I definitely wouldn't want to share it with my dog. Maybe these could be some of her husband's old belongings that she hasn't brought herself to being able to throw away yet. And that is our laundry area done. Everything keeps coming out way better than I expect it to. I'm not complaining. That was not a complaint. On to upstairs. What on earth am I going to do with all this space? We did the entire downstairs in brick, no wallpaper or anything, so maybe we should swap it up now. We can do some of this wallpaper. Now, the trick to getting it to look like a bee is the different colored floor tiles. So we're going to do the hardwood floor for the middle. Then I reckon we go carpet for the rest of the house. It needs to be a different color though, which means we have to go a lot darker. Green? Green on green? It looks terrible, but I didn't make this house. Bonnie did. Okay, so we need door, 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 door. I'm gonna make this one Bonnie's bedroom. Just realized the fireplace downstairs lines up quite well to this spot. Who doesn't want a fireplace to snuggle up to on a cold winter's evening? It is a little too big to fit the downstairs one, but that's a bit too dramatic for a bedroom anyway. Oh, this one's perfect. What swatches have they got? Oh, I like that wood. We can stick with the flowers and the green and the brown. I don't know if this is too much, but we will work that out. It's got to be a cozy little love seat by the fireplace. I love the colors of this one and the texture of the cushions. Then this area can just be a dressing space. I don't feel the need to fill every single gap of this bedroom. Sometimes people have massive bedrooms and it's nice to just have a bit of space to stretch your legs around in. We can pull the fox theme through again. I like to think maybe foxes are her favorite animals. She'd certainly see quite a few of them living in the rural English countryside. Mind you, every time I go to London, I seem to find foxes there. I think they are actually quite common in built-up areas. I think they're kind of the equivalent of raccoons, where they just feed off the scraps in everyone's bins. You're not supposed to feed them, otherwise they keep coming back. Loads of people now have fox sirens. They do a really high-pitched noise and they're motion activated. I walk past a few front gardens and they go off, and it's a horrible noise in my ears, but my parents aren't able to hear it. I think it's that thing where the range of frequency you can hear as you age shrinks. And they have one in their garden too, and we have to tell them to turn it off every time me and my partner go around and visit, because they can't hear it. I haven't bothered with curtains. She's probably quite an early riser. And some people like to have the morning light streaming through. This cottage is in the middle of nowhere as well, so it's not even like you have to worry about any peeping toms. Okay, massive time jump. It's now 2 weeks later. I've finished every other room on the top floor of Bonnie's house. I'm not going to show you because it's going to take ages, but don't worry, I will show you later in the tour. For now, we get to start Bertie's house. I'm really excited to see how the same layout will turn out completely differently, or maybe quite similarly. After all, it's the same type of rooms that we need to put down: kitchen, bedroom, although I don't think he's going to have as well stocked a pantry. So let's have a look at what we're going to do with this floor plan. I think the best thing to start off with is deciding what contrast in flooring we want between the middle and the edge. I think for Bertie's color scheme, I want to go for something a little bit darker and also maybe a little bit more modern, as if he's renovated it a bit. Instead of a kitchen in the middle for Bertie though, I think we should go for some carpet. That's obscenely blue. Maybe something a little less bright. Oh, I'm questioning the carpet idea already. That's somehow even worse. Okay, I'm actually thinking something like one of these options. Hear me out, because I know they look ugly, but that's kind of the point. After all, Bertie's divorced and he's taken decorating the house into his own stride in the last few years. I'm not sure if his taste is going to be really all there. Maybe he picked this one because he thought it looked cool. It's just very commercial. Let me run with it for now and we'll see how we go. Okay, so let's draw some walls. Got to have an entryway. I'm actually thinking the doorway here will go straight into the kitchen. We could make this a galley kitchen over here. Gallery kitchen? I do also want it to be a lot more open. If we get some columns, we could turn this completely open plan. Okay, bear with me. It does look like the entrance to a creche. What about if we take this down? It's not quite conversation pit. It still looks a bit weird. Okay, what about if we open up the other side? That almost looks worse now that we've sunk it. Hang on. And then the bathroom could go over here. Maybe stairs to the upper floor here. There's turning out to be a lot more beams in Bertie's house, which I really like. Okay, so the kitchen. As I said, I want to give him more of a modern look. We could maybe do these country charm counters. They're a little less like girly floral than the country expansion pack ones. Oh, they look nice and weathered. That's really cool. I love the way the corners look. They really look like the type of items that he would squeeze into those gaps. Guys, I've really tried to get on board with the white countertops. I can't do it. Get the sledgehammer. Nope. We've got to go for something moodier, something darker, and something more modern. Again, the blue with the white. Can't a girl just have blue countertops without a white top? Oh, that's black on top. That's looking hopeful. Again! EA, please! Give me a dark top with a blue base. Blue on blue. That's somehow even worse. Oh, come on. Blue top, brown base. Blue top, grey base. Is it me? Am I just anti-Pinterest? Do I just have bad ideas? Would this just look bad as a combination? I sell composite decking for a living, and sometimes the color combinations that people ask for, I think, you do you, girl. Maybe this is one of those moments. That's the wrong way round. You're telling me in all these counters, this can't be right. Yes! Yes! I don't know if I love them. I don't know if I love them. I was hoping for something a bit more modern than that. I might have to abandon this blue idea. Okay, I think I've settled on this option. The wood looks exactly the same shade as every single piece of furniture in the charity shop down the road. So it strikes me as maybe the kind of counter that an old person might pick. Back in my day, this was the most fashionable Iroko wood. Something like that. I like the grey top too. It gives us the kind of modern look that we're looking for. Ooh, look how well this end counter finishes it off. I love when I find out about little features that I didn't know existed in the game. Like, I had no idea that these Iron Living counters did this. Have I got to go through another 10 minutes now in order to choose all of my appliances? Oh gosh, you have no idea how long that took me. Anything will do, come on. Oh, this one looks exactly like something he's gone and picked up on the salesman's recommendation from Curry's PC World. Excellent. Do I do the blue? No. There's going to be a point where it's too much blue, and I don't want to reach it in the very first room of the build. I don't think it matters that the grey doesn't match as well. I don't think he would like really care about that. We'll do the matching fridge. Oh yeah, the salesman's made a good commission from Bertie. Matching sink, dishwasher. Can we get a hood that matches too? Kinda. This salesman is raking it in. And then we'll just pop some cabinets down too. Maybe just down one side so it doesn't make the kitchen feel too claustrophobic. Which ones technically match? None of them. I don't see an island living counterpart anywhere. All good. I didn't want to make them match anyway. I quite like the modernness of these ones. Ooh, and the curved piece on top. I don't know if it clashes with the squareness of the bit below it. We'll see. We'll stuff some clutter up this end for him. So a food annihilator and a coffee machine he bought in 1967 that's still working. If they did coffee machines then. Let's not forget the bin. I'm thinking a nice pedal bin. We don't actually have very many options for that. Touchless trash can then. Go crazy, Bertie. Honestly, anything to automate his life and make it easier for him. I don't know if we have any other mug stand in the game, so this one's going to have to do. He picked it up from B&M for £4. I've got some dirty mugs here that I want to put inside the sink, as if it's not enough washing up to bother yet with the dishwasher. So he's kind of just left them in there to get round to at some other point. I think I should just be able to get a shelf at the height of the sink. Put these on top. Shelves are the hero of this game. Now, if we move back, oh my gosh, that looks so good. This spice rack is so pretty. It deserves its own shelf as well. I can just use Tool Mod to lift this up. It's just that little pop of color up there. Now this utensil holder looks really good under the shelf. I'm gonna make him do what everybody does as well. And just come in and leave his parcels and post on the kitchen counter to be sorted out later. And then never sort them out later. It just needs a touch of color on the walls. Bar gallery. I like this one in here. It feels like a bit of a jumbled mess in here, but maybe that's Bernie. We're only just starting to sort of work out his personality. And yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot less cohesive than Bonnie's space next door. So on to the living room. As I mentioned already, he's always going to have lots of friends over, so it's going to be a very comfy space with lots of seating room for everyone. Oh yeah! Yeah! Look at that thing! This whole thing is giving like he wants it to be a bachelor pad so desperately, but he's like a little bit too old for that now, and the only people he has to invite over are fellow grey-haired, young-spirited souls. Does he need a TV that big? Maybe our Curry's PC World salesman drives a really, really hard bargain. Do you know what? The curved screen is fun. He's definitely been talked into purchasing it for a premium viewing experience. Let's just see about scaling it down a little bit. There, that's better. And then these cupboards underneath frame it really nicely. Do you know what these really long TV tables lend themselves to? A man's train collection. What colours go together? We've got to do the blue. Oh my gosh, can we do a fully blue train? Yes! So what's all the different types? Engine, cargo, passenger, coal, and a caboose. I've never heard of the word caboose before, but that might be up there in one of my top favorite words ever, along with lagoon and marshmallow. What's your favorite word? Everyone's got a favorite word. Okay, I'm going to just jimmy them slightly so they look a bit more realistic, as if he's put them down and they're not exactly straight. Here we go, final engine car. Jimmy it the other way. How is our train looking? I love it. I want to pop a little lamp down here. Maybe we should go for some more symmetrical, so put one either side. That could really nicely frame a piece of artwork. Who are you, Bertie? Who are you? Ooh, this one with the ship could be good. So we've managed to get trains and ships into the same room. Now he does love his plants, so we can't leave him without. This one is really sweet. Oh my gosh, look at this one. Oh, it's like that you've gotten old tea bag containers and planted in them. Oh, I know the perfect spot. I know I thought we were done with the kitchen, but is that not the cutest thing ever? I want to give him this wild and wacky flower as well. He's got a green thumb. He could take care of some crazy plants. Maybe in this gap, actually. That's a pretty good spot for it. Then you can appreciate it in the entryway, the kitchen, and the living room. Ooh, and what about this one between the armchairs? And what pot colours? Oh, and they've got a blue pot! It's perfect! Where would an avid TV watcher be without their magazines and remote holder? I also love that this wood kind of is a mid-tone between the one used at these cabinets and for this coffee table. So by placing this here, we can kind of bridge the two. This wall is missing something. A shelf? Two shelves? But what to put on those shelves? Another mode of transportation? Another mode of transportation? I love it. I love those massive shelves for displaying such tiny little things, but it gives them more significance. There we go. I think that's turned into a really nice display feature. I love how the lamps give a little pop of blue to the wall, and I feel like everything ties in quite well. Okay, we're going to shove a quick bathroom in, and remember, we are saying that Bertie has modernized a lot of elements of his house, sort of renovated everything, so we can go for something a bit more modern looking than next door. Oh, look at all this space for stashing toilet paper. I'm going to fill every single available slot with them. Look at them all tucked away back there. Okay, maybe that's a little too many. Ooh, I like the orb. Strikes me as something he would pick. Ooh, this plant's perfect for this corner. Should we go matching? Yeah. Okay, Bertie, he's really, really tried. Look at him. He's got his matching lamps in the living room, matching plants in the bathroom. Bonnie definitely told him that as like an interior design hack one time, and he took that and he ran with it. That's like the only trick he knows. He did it and he thought, yeah, this does look good, and proceeded to do it in every single room in his house. He probably saw this and went, yep, it's blue. That's my favorite color. That'll do. I like this painting. Do you know what? I might make it really small. Just this really small little piece of artwork he had, and he thought, oh yeah, that's a good spot. I'll stick it up there above the loo. Perfect. That's our very simple little bathroom all finished. Now we want to add a dining area. Now, as I mentioned, he has a lot of friends over, so I think a nice big round dining table is going to suit his purposes perfectly. There is this one. Very interesting colors of wood. What chairs can we use for entertaining everybody? Maybe just these ones in like a horrible blue plastic. Perfect. That looks so uncomfy. Look, he got divorced and he just went out. He bought all of his furniture. Like, these lamps just look like IKEA lamps to me. Really simple little lamps you pick up from IKEA. Nothing wrong with IKEA, but same as these chairs, just some cheap plastic chairs from IKEA. I think it's quite fun to scatter this build with a few of those type of items. Oh my gosh, I've just realized what we're missing in the bathroom. To be fair, it's probably not that important because the window does only lead out onto Bertie's private enclosed garden, but I think if he has guests over, he probably doesn't want anybody seeing his business. From this sitting area, you go through the tunnel and you get to this massive open space. This is a party palace, so we gotta make it fun in here. There's loads of recreational options we can use. I'm thinking we just do them all. So, elation station. No, I'm kidding. Maybe not them all. Can you imagine all 8 of these grey-haired, young-spirited folks all sitting around the elation station having a wonderful evening? I don't know what Bonnie would think of him then. She's quite proper. Well, I think it's got to be a poker table somewhere. And then, do we go football or ping pong? I'd like to do pool. However, there isn't a pool or snooker table. That said, you can get those ping pong tables that flip into other games, like a snooker table. So we can pretend that it's just set to its ping pong mode. We can just get more of these chairs. Maybe not the same ones. Maybe he bought these at a different date. Ooh, maybe he splurged. They're a little bit more comfortable. What looks a tiny bit more comfortable? Probably these ones. Yeah, in just a simple brown. I hate how those browns don't match at all. Okay, what about this orange to match the curtains? No. No. Why are all of these color combinations so obscene? Well, do you know what? His home matching is not my problem. And it's not his problem either, apparently, looking at the rest of it. So that'll do. There you go. He's gone for dark and moody. Ooh, I think a nice sharp square rug will finish this off. Oh yes, look, he definitely thought this one was cool. This globe art is perfect for this games area. It feels like the last present that his wife got him before. I haven't decided yet who left who first. Maybe it was mutual. Some manly man cave artwork will, I think, start to pull this area together. He's really tried his best. I love the mismatch. Like, it doesn't really quite go together feel of this. Bless him. What about like a barrel that he's picked up for decoration? We can put a nice plant on top. Oh my gosh, this mocktail bar tray is so perfect for here. Get that elevated by 0.9, baby. By the door, I'm gonna leave him an umbrella stand and we'll give him a nice welcome mat too. It matches the one in the bathroom. I know we put the spare post over there, but I'm going to put this post holder down too, as if he's got so much post, it's kind of overflowing and he's just dumped the latest batch on the table. I love the thought of him leaving in his little hat as well. This is a rug, but it looks like tile, and I think that's pretty cool. Oh, it's even got black, white, and blue. Black, white, green, and blue. This room looks like poo. No, it looks like a freshly divorced man did it, and that's what we're going for. The one thing that's not working for me is these chairs. I've really tried to like them. They're too offensive. Be gone! I'm gonna replace you with an equally uncomfy but better looking straight back push dining chair. I wonder if I should move this drinks globe actually to here. I much prefer that spot. And now there's one item in each of the small gaps. I bet you're all screaming for me to do that for ages. Okay, now that we've done that, all this artwork doesn't look quite right. This one is not working. So much for the manly man cave man art. Men don't deserve art. They get nothing. It's the yellow in the curtains. It's just not working around here. Go back to just blue. Or even there's this black swatch. Yeah, okay. I'm now liking this. Bring the manly man cave man art back. I think we found it a home permanently. Oh, I can't believe I didn't think to do this sooner. I can use tool mod to size this up to the exact size. Oh, I love how equidistant this all is. Yeah, and the pops of red in all of them is really nice. We've got a pop of purple in this corner. There's like the red corner. I wonder if we put some hanging lights down. Hanging lights is such an easy way to make a really nice looking decoration. How funky is that? It's just going for a big like square kind of wrapping look. I really love that effect from top down. That looks sick. And then what should we put over the pool table? What if he's tried to replicate how in a snooker parlor you get the really low hanging lights? I don't like how beaten up those are though. Is there a different version that's less weathered? Well, maybe that's what he did. Maybe he bought an old one of those lights. Maybe he thought the bits of rust were like cool, you know? Okay, I think we've got our finished manly man cave. I always forget you can do this, but I just had sudden inspiration to go look in the gallery for some artwork. This one, oh my gosh. How manly man cave man art is this? I don't know how people do this. But yeah, I just needed something to put on, oh my gosh, these walls. And look what it's got on it. A boat. We've managed to bring the transportation through into the transportation corridor somehow. Look how good that looks. Just to finish off this entryway from the backside, let's give him a very heavy-duty mud rug. Obviously, he's got his blue wellies by the door as well. And, oh no, an empty corner! What are we gonna do? Plant. I haven't put down any kind of radio or speaker yet. And given this is supposed to be like a fun hangout room, it definitely needs one. I'm honestly thinking the jukebox. Like, I can imagine in sometime in his later years, he was gifted one as a birthday present because he thought it was cool. And look how perfectly that fits underneath the saxophone. Now that painting makes so much sense. I'm not gonna lie, I was wondering how that fit into the theme. Also, this rug was a mistake. It's too modern. It looks way more man cavey without the rug. And speaking of, do you know what I'm also going to get rid of? That's been bugging me for ages. Look how bare and barren and tragic this wall looks now. It's perfect. It looks like Bertie decorated it. And there we go. Our downstairs is complete. I think we've managed to use this horrible downstairs shape quite efficiently. And we've still got the look of the bee with the hole in the middle. Upper floor, upper floor, upper floor, upper floor. Here we go. What do we do with the upper floor? Wall. That's a very easy place to start. For Bonnie's house, the inside was a landing that worked really nicely for the rest of the rooms. I'm not sure we're gonna be so lucky this time around. I could always make this a corridor. Bertie's bedroom should definitely be the middle of the B. Oh no, because then you wouldn't get any windows. Okay, just what about a big master bathroom? Oh, we could give him a bedroom that kind of wraps around the B as a big semicircle. That would be sick. Great, we have a floor plan. What are we going to do now for Bertie's bedroom? Unlike the carpet in Bonnie's house, we're going to carry on the downstairs wood flooring through. For the walls, I kind of want to try adding in the wooden beams from the outside. Maybe if we get the ones with the straight lines, because the wooden door we've used, look, matches in really nicely. It does look a bit aged though. I don't think it's really made for internal use, but I think it does a good job of reminding you that you're in an aged cottage. Where do we start? This is quite a big room. This blank corner lends itself well to a bed. I bet he spent a lot of money on a nice comfy bed. Something with 4 posters feels like the right amount of cottage whimsy. The weird roofing bit we've got going on is causing a bit of grief. Oh no. Might have to go like this, which is really awkward. I don't want to deal with that, to be honest. Might just make a dead section. Otherwise, it's just a really weird blank spot. Blue on blue action. Don't know if we're bridging on too much here. Maybe we could just pull through the outside wallpaper again. I like how that just randomly puts the beams throughout the room. It feels really higgledy-piggledy, which is quite true to life. This one looks even better though. And now there's just the right amount of blue. I like this dresser for Bertie. And of course, he's got to have a nightstand as well. Just a big, chunky, blocky wooden one. I like how they have to go at uneven intervals if we want to put one on each side. This could be a good area to just slip a lamp in. I want upstairs to feel a little more true to how the original cottage would have looked before his renovations, as if he's only gotten around to renovating the downstairs. So the sconces and things like that will make look a lot more oldie. The landscape over here, I love the frame that this is in. It screams granddad. Oh, now Bunny would have a lot of plants. I like this one up here. These ones too are very pretty, but that's a little big. Problem is they're not going to get enough light there, so maybe he's put them up on a table. Oh, this one's perfect. It's mid-century as well, which is probably why. It's just from the, I was going to say century, but I mean more like decade that I imagine he's from. I like how flowery all of these are. He's a man that loves his flowers. Oh, that congregation of plants is just beautiful. Last one. Some sunflowers. They're just so him. I actually reckon sunflowers are his favorites, so I'm going to add 2. One for himself and one that he's growing for Bonnie. Speaking of, do you know what we have got to add? A lovely pair of folded up clothes. Bonnie did that for him. Dentures by the bedside table, of course. And what about a bit of hand cream as well that he sort of puts on before bed? I like this divider to sort of section off the room a little bit. It makes the bedroom area feel extra cozy. I can't find a watering can anywhere that isn't overgrown with flowers, but there is this spray bottle from the debug menu. I'm gonna say this is like a plant spritzer, you know, like a water spritzer. Oh, and I don't add too much sort of heavy duty clutter, but I do like the spare pots under here. That really fills up the space. That feels complete now. I love the thought of him heading around in his like little cardigan and satchel. More clothes that Bonnie's folded for him. I like the thought of giving him a little step stool that he uses to help get his shoes on. I'll just pop it in this corner maybe, or yeah, maybe by the door. He's got his little stool, and then he's got his little shoes next to it as well. He just needs somewhere to put his shoes on. This man is so cute. I haven't put a rug down yet, and that's one of the most fun bits. It really transforms the room. I like the pattern of this one, plus the texture of it is really nice. Now we've already managed to get one vehicle in the bedroom, so why not go for another? And it comes in a blue. I love it. Especially, it looks like it's sailing toward this ocean view as well. They go really well together. All I'm going to add is a little seating area for when Bonnie comes up and they hang out. I don't know if they've got to that stage yet, but he's definitely prepared. It's just nice to have somewhere to sit in your bedroom anyway. Ooh, this chair looks so comfy. I've got a blue and yellow as well, which kind of matches the rug. It's not really the right shade. I kind of want to go mismatched with them. Maybe originally he just had one for himself and then he thought, well, I might get company eventually. Like maybe he had one of these lying around the house and he thought, oh yeah, I'll just bring it up. Cute. I love how conversational this table is. Like, it's so tiny. We could even add just another little lamp to keep the vibe so nice and cute and cozy. Look at a little rug too. Maybe he's learned from Bonnie. Not only do you have 2 of everything, but a rug makes everything cozier. Now, Bertie 100% knows how much Bonnie loves like chess and puzzles because she makes him play her every time he goes round. So at the charity shops, he's been collecting jigsaw puzzles to give to her when he sees her next. He also wouldn't need a hairdryer for himself, and I'm going to stash one under the nightside table, one that he's bought in case she ever comes round. I would say we've now finished Bertie's bedroom. It's really sweet. It hasn't got too much decoration, but it feels like it could easily be his bedroom, and I love his little plant area. After all, he does love gardening. Now we've got to do his ensuite. So I thought we could stick with the same blue theme and just go for tiles all over. Okay, those are for the bottom of a swimming pool. Ooh, this one's quite intricate. Oh yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do the edge though. Okay, maybe one without a repeating pattern. Ooh, I like the big blue squares actually. Yes, he's definitely done this one up himself. So it's going to be ugly. No, I'm kidding. I think Bertie's done a really good job of his renovation, okay? This tile looks quite cool. Oh, we could do a wet room. That feels really appropriate as well for, you know, someone elderly who doesn't want as much to take care of. So for a shower, we could just do something like this. This bathroom is unnecessarily big. I'm actually now just realizing the ridiculous size of it. Last time I had a bathroom this big, I turned it into a sauna, but I don't know if that's appropriate for this build. Okay, so then we want like a stone toilet. I reckon that would work in a wet room. So really easy to just clean. We'll do him a bath as well as a shower. What about the corner bath? Oh, that looks so so luxurious. Sometimes I get posts through that was meant for the previous tenant who was elderly, and they have loads of advertisements for, yes, retirement villages, but also those showers that you could turn into a vertical bath by putting like a little screen down and then you'd have to step in as far. So that's what this front window looks like to me. It's like removable so you can step in not too far, and you've got the little cushion as well. All this space, and he still puts the most ridiculously tiny mirror up. Man things. The only thing I'm wondering is if some fancy lighting could make it a little bit more interesting in here. Yeah, like these wall lights, for example. You don't really want to have that right above you when you're bathing though. But like one here, one here, one here. It's kind of interesting. I don't really like them though. Maybe something a bit more toned down. Oh my goodness, that toned up. That went the wrong direction. Down, 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 down. Okay, what about the squares from the Sparty pack? That's nice. Gives some nice ambient lighting. How many is too many? Maybe 3 along that wall, 3 along this wall. Then you got like lights on both sides. Do people put plants in a wet room? The problem is it doesn't have any natural light, so that feels a bit mean. Got it! Yes! That's so bathroom. It's so perfect. What a lovely pop of color. Yep. Could I even put 2 together? And I do. Yes, these swatches are similar enough, but just slightly different colors that you don't really notice they're the same. Oh my gosh! Yes! Yes! I've solved it! Okay, we're done! It's very bare. I know. But it's the point. I think, you know, that's all it needs to be. I've gotten done the rest of the guest bedrooms. They're just very, very simple. I love that we've still got the B profile on the top and the bottom floors. That leaves us with the outside. I'm so excited. First thing I want to start with is a low down brick wall. Oh, look how cute these gates are. And we can do blue for Bertie and green for Bonnie. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Then I thought this space at the end made the perfect bin storage. You know me, I love to do 1 for general waste and 1 for recycling. I don't even think there's any point putting like a food caddy one down because they'd probably just compost themselves and use it in the garden as mulch. If you're struggling with bringing a big open garden area to life, try some terrain paint. It always looks terrible at first, but as you layer more and more down, it starts to look really good. So I want to go for a completely different style for each of these cottages. Both going to be English country, but Bonnie's is going to be a bit more proper, neat corners, well kept. Bonnie's is going to be a little bit more wild. And of course, at the bottom, we've got our shared allotments. What kind of size do I make it? Well, we need to be able to fit sort of 2 vegetable bays either side. Yes, because the allotments kind of split their garden in half. It's like where they meet. So I might just use the same brick. Oh gosh, what do we do with all this space? I think the best thing to start off with is to decide the activities that are going to be in each garden. Now I know for Bonnie, I want to give her a swimming pool. And I also want to build it on a raised platform area. I think people normally put swimming pools down the bottom of their garden. So I'll stick it down this way. I don't think I want it to just be square though. We could go for a curve. That feels quite luxurious. Look, rounded platform. Yes! A curve, and then I can just, yes, duplicate this whole thing and whack that on the other end. Can you do a rounded pool? Oh my gosh, you can. Can't place pools under don't do this to me. If I add the platform back, well, how do I, what? Oh, I can raise the pool up. Okay, then can I put the platform back? Okay, so I think the best solution that we've got is to build the deck up like around it. I haven't properly got the curve, but by the time we lift the pool up, I think the lip of it will go over. Cool, so this is now 1 deck. I want the deck to go up by 1, and then I want the pool. Can't connect blocks from different levels.
15 minutes later.
Oh my gosh, I think I've done it! Yes! Let's go! Oh my gosh, I've done it! I've done it! I don't know how we've ended up with this weird, like, trim on the corners, but I'm going to just have to accept that at this point. Now, can I attach the fences to the side of this thing? Oh, I can. Do I want to? I could go for bush and then to camouflage it, more bush.
Few minutes later.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to disguise that. I just need to put like another wall in the way. Oh, there's this one. Nosy neighbor / fence. That doesn't work at all.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Oh, see, ones like this are good, but the pillars stick out way too much. Pillars stick out a lot on this one as well. It looks silly.
2 very boring minutes later.
Ooh, from the Eco Living Pack, look. Okay, I think we found our hero. It's kind of ugly. It's like an ice skating rink. It's just not what I had in mind. It's because these platforms look so weird. Maybe we don't go for the raised height idea anymore. None of the walls look right. None of the trims look right. Nothing is working. Well, in that case, I'm just making it round on both sides. I will return to this idea. I just need to start with a patio. Something like this, and then we can do the pool area in the same tile. She definitely sits outside whenever she can. Ooh, what about a sculpture? Like a really big sculpture like this. It feels like something she'd have. We need a fence that looks like she put up when her toddlers were younger so that none of them would, you know, accidentally get into the pool area without her paying attention. They've grown up a bit now, but it's still there. It's the kind of thing you never take down. Let's chunk out a planting area. Dark over the top. And then I want to do the same over here, except I'm going to cut some really neat bays. I want to put a pergola down this end where the sort of sitting area is. It's kind of got to be green, hasn't it? And then I'm going to move the seats over. Can I squeeze them into this gap up here? Oh, yes. I think they just about fit. Oh, and now the pink matches really well with the flowers. Oh, wait, they're white. Never mind. Well, it looks cute. There needs to be vases of flowers dotted about. Oh, yeah, we could do one in each corner. And then maybe 2 more on each long side. I thought the garden was going to take ages, but it's filled up too quickly. There needs to be a stone bench like this one. Maybe a bit less mossy. She'd look after it. Add a couple more. I don't think Bonnie would have added this swimming pool. I think it was probably here when she moved in and she like added the fence around to make sure it was safe. We should start on the plants now because I think that's really going to bring this to life. I would love to add like these trees that have been sculpted. I think that's definitely the kind of thing that she would take her time to do. This one's like a smaller version which works really well. These kind of are giving me like king and queen chess piece vibes. Look at the knight. Okay, these are definitely supposed to be chess pieces. Wait! Doesn't she love chess? Okay, that's literally the most perfect thing in the world. Hang on. I'm gonna put these over here for now. I'll have to use them. Okay, let's start with some bushes. Okay, this rose bush is absolutely adorable. It comes in a few different colors. I'm going to add this pale pink one right to the middle of this vertical trellis we've got going on. Actually, I don't know if the vertical trellis takes away from the sculpture. I think it does. Okay, we'll get rid of that. These ones are adorable. I use them all the time in my builds. They just don't look like any of the other plants in the game. I feel like pink and orange are quickly becoming our colors. I love how much height these foxgloves add. So pretty. I want more of like a plain green just bush to go along the back. These could be fun if we could get some trellis to grow up the top of them. Do I like it? I might have done all of this work for something that I don't actually like. No, I don't like it. It's just not English cottage enough. I can't believe that. Oh well, you gotta trial and error these things. I guess what we will just add then is another cute little bush. I did want to kind of make the bushes sprawl, kind of grow through and sprawl outwards. I think that'll give it quite an untamable look. And then I think what I'm missing is some rocks. Whoa, look at the size of that one. I actually really like it there. This might be a touch too big. Let me shrink it down with tool mod. 0.9. That's better. Then I'll just tuck a couple more rocks here. Shrinks down a lot. I'm gonna just tuck a little pet bowl down here. I absolutely love how our English cottage little garden area turned out. And I love how it spills out the side. Over here is where I'm going to use the chest pieces. So I'll put a little one sort of equidistant here. Maybe another one here. And then I'll just dot the wall with the chess pieces. Oh, let's do the knight in the middle. Queen, king, I guess. Oh, maybe they're supposed to be different sizes. I don't like how tall this one is. So this is more of like a wild English garden. On this side, I want to do more of like a walled garden. Like when you go to a National Trust property. So I'm going to shrink this down all the way. We can can use it as a border, just using my square bracket keys to do that. And I've chosen a bush with the same texture as the like crafted plants so that it blends in quite well. Of course, we need some ivy growing up the walls. You basically can't get a walled garden without plants growing up all of the walls. I've just used a tool mod to shrink down this debug ivy to be the perfect size. It looks so good. Oh my gosh, it's really starting to feel like a walled garden. Now, lots of them have sculptures. I like how flowery it is on the top. There's also this statue as well, which is so pretty. Now, there's one statue in this corner, which leaves this corner a bit naked. Luckily, the same pack does have a very similar statue. They look so cute together. From the chess pieces, there's also this one, which I feel like might be a bishop. Maybe we can use this little bishop guy, sort of add some interest this way. Give the hedge a bit of dimension. Or we could put them further back. Yes, no, that's good. I like that there. Now, do we leave it quite green or do we fill the gaps with flowers? These ones, for example, would work really well. I think the trick with this is to make it look fairly symmetrical, just like a lot of the old English manor houses. I mean, what a beautiful house Bonnie has bought. Swimming pool, your own like English country walled garden. Stunning. Ooh, these purple like alliums would be so sweet with the lavender. And maybe we can use a slightly different color for this corner. I like the different colors. I want to swap it up from the foxglove. Look how gorgeous those are. I don't know if they're actually working with the plants below anymore because they are so bushy. They've got mixed colors. That's so pretty. Okay, what's going to work well with the purples we've put down? I mean, we could just do more purple. I like the bit of red in there too. That's quite sexy. I think I prefer the yellow and the white. And it's a nice callback to earlier when we were putting a lot of yellows and a little bit of white in this corner too. It just needs a little bit of shaping. To the salon. I really like this sundial as well. Maybe we replace this flower with the sundial. I kind of want to put like a whimsical little tree down. Oh, these ones are sweet. Kind of blocks off the gate access. Maybe I just turn it. The Sims can probably still get in there. She needs some decorations on her patio. So a little tree. So cute. Patio heater makes sense in case it's a little bit chilly but she wants to sit outside. We need a bird bath out here as well. Maybe this could be what I fill this spot with. I was wondering what to put there. A garden hose makes sense. We can tuck it over here. Maybe some flowers in the little baskets too. Green, of course. That does fit really nicely. Oh, and we should put a little rug down because she hasn't got one on the inside. I'm kind of feeling the little bone actually. Look, she loves her dog. It's a little bit of personality. Now I want to keep this lawn area bare as if she's left it like that for her grandchildren to come and have space to play on. I don't really know what to do with this corner. Maybe she doesn't either. What if I just whack a bird feeder down and call it a day? In a green. Of course, how could I forget the clothing line? Might just tuck it up in this corner. What about one more little bucket of flowers? How cute are they? We are da-da-da-da. I freaking love it. I think this cottage garden looks so good. And then the wall garden vibe is so pretty. Bunny's side is going to look so different. This little tree in the middle as well, as if, you know, she doesn't have the heart to cut it down, even though it's kind of in the way now. So cute. And the rounded edged hall is everything. Time to do Bertie's side. While Bonnie's garden is entirely enclosed, I think I want Bertie's to be a bit more open and connect to the outside area as if there isn't really a border. The inspo is lots and lots of tiny little areas all connected by paths that weave between English country garden flowers. I'm going to do the same thing we did last time and start with the activities. That way I can get an idea of where we want all the sections to go. So there'll be a shed and a planting area in the allotments. You don't need to worry about that. Obviously, the very first thing we've got to start off with is the bee box. There's no way. There's no way. Bertie's bee box. To be fair, that's not how I'm spelling Bertie. Bertie, our Bertie, is B-E-R-T-I-E. But that's crazy. Maybe that was in the back of my mind from like 3 years ago or wherever I used this box last. We'll keep it in the default color because that's Bertie's blue. Ooh, I want to do this water garden. Absolutely. I like the idea of a fire pit, sort of in a social area. Yeah, and then a barbecue too. It doesn't need to be crazy big. Probably just this one. Where do we put everything? The pond would make a lovely addition at the back of the build. It goes so deep. I wonder if you can bathe in that. Then I'm going to stick a wind chime on the wall here and make a little seating area here. Proper entertaining area. Out of respect for Bonnie, maybe away from her. Maybe we do it over here. And then, oh yeah, this is where he can have his bees in like a quiet zone. Okay. I think some terrain paint is going to help me visualize this sectioning better. So the path is down here. Then, oh, I'm going to, maybe we could grow a tree in the middle and have a path that kind of comes around it. Then we do barbecue area here, mini breakfast seating area for him here, bee area here, and then snake it to the pond. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so excited already. Okay, let's do our tree. That's a bit big. That's a bit small. That's a bit birchy. I don't know if any of these are quite right, actually. I think just like Bonnie's one, it has to be a smaller tree. Otherwise, it just takes up way too much of the garden. I don't know if the open idea is going to work because it just doesn't feel very secure. Maybe I do carry the fencing on. Although, I think the debug menu has got some really interesting fences, like this one and this one. An old friend of mine used to have old abbey grounds in their back garden. So maybe we could go for a similar kind of vibe. What about if we put this archway here and then it kind of looks like you can get out to the outside that way? Oh, so we can join them up. We can make it look like it's crumbling. But if we just stick one here and the rest of the wall here. Okay, so it has got this awkward bit that sticks out, but maybe we could use that as part of the garden to section it off. This could feel really wild and untamed if we could pull it off properly. I think I want to play about with the terrain as well, just a little bit. So I'll just shrink this ground down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna redo my paint now that we have a better idea of where things are going. He needs more than one bee box. No, we'll give him multiple and I'll just pop them up against the wall here. We should do them different colors, to be fair. We'll do one blue, one orange, and one what about this yellow? That's sweet. And the bees, of course, need lots and lots of happy little plants to sustain them. Lots of flowers. I'm sure we can do that for them. And Bertie's garden should definitely get some wild mushrooms too. Just look how cute they are. Any patch of grass is going to get grassed. We want it to feel overgrown. Just a little bit. Oh my gosh, there's a pond here. Of course. Oh, now I really want to add a willow tree. Look how that drapes over the pond. It's so beautiful. Okay, now one thing I absolutely want to include are these little paving slabs. I think they are so cute and they would work so well to kind of lay out the paths between the areas. Okay, so I'll lay out some big ones where the bee houses are. They slot together really nicely. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, it's like a giant jigsaw game. A lot of house building is jigsaw puzzles. I find myself referring to a lot of things as a jigsaw puzzle when it comes to building. I think it's because it's such an iterative process. I'll sort out the terrain later so that none of these are just floating. This will definitely need flattening. Yep, that's our path. We'll do the same thing up to the pond. You can get these rocks in a curve. That's like the perfect width. Blue hydrangeas, look, that's so perfect for him. Should we give him a little bush? He's shaped into a rabbit. I love that. The plants are refusing to go into the hole, so I might have to scrap the terrain idea that we had. So rude. I think Bertie really likes gardening. He just keeps it on the wild side because he knows how many different plants bees need to experience in order to produce the best honey. And he's a man that just wants the best honey. Wow. Look at the size of this ground ivy. Do some long grasses back there. This is all starting to feel maybe a little bit too chaotic. So let me just rein this in for a second. The lavender, he's specifically planted maybe in this corner where all the flowers and the rocks are. Oh my gosh, what about the lavender is like growing between the rocks? Okay, that looks really cute and really natural. I love this bush. I'm gonna pop it here by these rocks, kind of floating in the middle of the grass. Maybe another smaller one over here. Okay, that feels like a little wild meadow. That's adorable. Okay, then maybe we'll do some neater planting in this corner. I really like this little tree. I think it could look really good somewhere. Back there. I'm just layering some white flowers on as well. And then maybe one more at the front to cover up where the vines are spilling through. I love the undulating height of all the bushes. You can't really do too much, but you also can if you're not careful. But I love how we get the real curve of that following the rocks. One thing that I know Bertie would have is gnomes everywhere to look after his garden. I think he loves gnomes. I know. He loves gnomes. I just know it. We'll put some more in the allotments later, but for now, I'll just hide a couple. Look, this one's got little mushrooms growing off him, so he seems perfect to add right by these mushrooms. This one's got red flowers, so I think he works perfectly here. They're a little big. I want them to sort of be a little bit more hidden, so I'm going to shrink them all down by one. Look, he's sitting on a little rock right in the line of rocks. That's so cute. It looks like it was meant to be. Okay, maybe we can hide this like Gandalf looking guy in here. There we go. 4 gnomes all hidden around the garden. We'll give him a quick someplace to sit outside. Feels like a furniture set he will have had for all his life. Oh, these planters are really good. Look, they look like he's probably, yeah, like just planted some flowers there. We've got running like a red. We've got some lavender. We don't need more lavender. So yeah, maybe these little like pansy looking things. I promise you, if you struggle with terrain paint, you are not layering up enough. I'm using 2 different soils, the garden bedlam and the muddy mud. Those are the ones that I love the most. I add the garden bedlam to everything. Then I add the muddy mud to like the most trafficked areas. So if you can imagine, he's probably stepped off to his back garden to go that way. All around here is going to be more trafficked. Boom. And then I don't want to leave it as soil. I want to have some sort of pavers down. So I'm just going to go over then with cobbled together, which is just my choice of stones for this build. It doesn't have to be perfect. The more perfect it looks, the weirder it looks. And then I'm going to actually add the cobbled together going up to the pond and then sort of fading off this way. Then in areas where you want to highlight, you could just add a little more so the green comes through a little more. I want to highlight on areas where it sort of diverts off from the path and sort of multiple paths come together. Fade out, fade out. There you go. Super easy, I promise. And this barbecue area is looking a little bit sad. So we've got our grill, we've got our fire pit. I guess it just needs a bit more furniture. We'll say this is where he like lays out the food and then people take it and like either eat standing up and mingling or sit on these chairs or whatever they want to do. Absolutely adore this little mushroom house broken pot situation. It really fits in with like the whimsy gnome vibe we've got going on. Oh, we should tuck it up by the pond. Look, that's so sweet there. I like this wagon and it does feel like the perfect build for it. This is a bit empty here. Maybe we can just park it there. I like the idea he got it like really cheap at an auction house or maybe even free at the side of the road and he's planted all his plants on it. I just realized that you can put chairs around the campfire. So I'm going to use these horrible plastic ones. This is where we can use blue. You can fit so many. I don't think I've got the space though. We'll just keep the 4. Oh, we could butt them up closer. Do you know, I'll do it like that and then that looks a bit more realistic with them spaced out differently. I am of the firm impression that we are done here. I would love to know whose garden is your favorite. Let me know in the comments if you have a preference. But that just leaves us with one more area and that's the shared allotments. Da-da-da-da! This one is very easy to be fair because most of Bonnie's side is going to be taken up by a massive chicken coop. By default, it comes in this green and obviously that's the color that we've got to do. Then I want a fence that looks like chicken wire. I haven't seen that as an option though. We could do anything as long as it looks quite shabby. So like this one, for example. That's the perfect kind of thing. Ooh, this color looks even more shabby. To fix these posts, I reckon we just draw the wall out by one. Hey, there we go. That looks a lot better. Do the same this side. Perfect. I might even, because it looks a bit uneven now, do that. Oh, I quite like that. And I'm sure we can find a gate that matches. Oh, this metal one from the horse ranch pack is actually quite good. We could add it this side. Oh, those gaps are way too big for chickens. That one is definitely made for horses. That's got wire. Oh, they only have a tall version. That's a bit extreme. Well, we have decided she's into foxes. Maybe they run rampant in the area. The problem with all these gates is that the fence is not connecting to them. Why? Why are you doing this? So that's like the main structure on Bonnie's side. Then we have to look at the main structure on Bertie's side, which is going to be a shed. I'm starting to think I maybe should have done these allotments a little bigger, but it'll be fine. It just needs to be really small. Honestly, yeah, maybe even just 2 by 1 because I don't really want it touching the walls. Otherwise, that will happen and it will get rid of the fence. It's a shame you can't hold Alt on an actual building and move it where you want to. I fear this shed might look really silly. Being so tall. I need some really weathered looking planks. Or we could do it in a blue. And then a very sheddy roof shape is to have like a 0.002 degree slope of a roof. Oh no, this looks ridiculous. I just want some rendering on top. Maybe like the gravel. It's looking more like a porta potty at the moment. I think this looks a bit like a shed. They have a very square trim to the top. Okay, I might have to make this reach the fence line. Just otherwise it looks ridiculously small. No, I don't think that's awful. Give his little shed. Oh my gosh, that door is so perfect. The green is very garden sheddy. Also the white. The little letterbox though. It wouldn't have a letterbox. I know what I want. I want one that looks like it has planks on it. Kind of like this, but less fairy core. Oh look, this one's very weathered. We do a grey, kind of matches the trim. And we could put it bang in the middle, or we could put it to one side and put a little window. I think that's the better option. Smaller. I need one even smaller than that. Can you shrink windows? I don't think. No, you can't. Oh my gosh! I normally never use the tiny little windows, but now I'm in desperate need of one. I think it might have to be this one. It's like the only window that I like that isn't too big. And I'll do it in a grey. It looks like it's clipping some of the wall off, but when you look around the other side, you can't see that. So we're gonna say that's not a problem. Oh my gosh, look at the inside. I might just do the same planks on the inside, or, oh, we could even leave it like this down to the studs as if he hasn't painted on the inside. He probably, I'm gonna say he built this wooden shed himself. What do you put on a floor of a shed if you haven't done anything? I think it's just concrete. We have a shed in our garden that my partner fills with spare wood from all the renovation projects he's been doing around the house. He calls it the garden B&Q. So that's what we're gonna give Bertie, a garden B&Q. Except we're not gonna fill it with wood. We're gonna fill it with all the tools that he needs to do his gardening. It's way too dark in here. I'm sorry, everybody. You haven't been able to see anything. Let me get you some light. Ah, there we go. His box of glory. In fact, I think it would be a little more realistic to give him a hanging light. Oh, we could do this lantern. Very rustic. Now, in allotments I've seen, they usually have places to plant with a wooden border around. The default one could be a good choice. There's also this one from the Werewolves pack that looks quite put together and beaten up. Again, that could be a good choice, as if he's had them a number of years. Like, I can see Bertie taking the effort to repaint his shed every few years, but you wouldn't bother with the planters, would you? This insect farm is adorable. I'll pop it here for now. Oh, they have these ones. Oh, I prefer those. They still look put together, but not in complete disrepair. If we do the soil though, so hang on, this is the second option. We could get the planting seeds down, which brings it alive. And it could be quite cool, like to have the path go between them. So then the smaller planters could go here. There's this adorable little debug fence as well. Look, it's the perfect width. How cute is that? So we can just make a little border with it. I don't like how this shed roof sticks out so much. I think we need to give him a haircut. Oh yeah, and then we could easily grow some ivy up the side. Carry on that kind of overgrown look. Oh, and this one really looks like tendrils starting to creep across. I love it. I don't half wonder though if we put some trellis down and make it look like he's grown this ivy on purpose. He's like started to grow it, but it's all gotten a bit out of control. Now that this roof isn't sticking out the way, we can add an awning. Oh, they've got it in a blue. Oh my gosh, look at this netting. I've just found it in the debug menu. This is exactly the kind of handmade chicken wire stuff I was trying to find earlier. Oh, it comes in different colors. Wait, does it? Oh, did I get pranked? Okay, I got pranked. It doesn't come in different colors. But what if I shrunk this down and I can always use this instead of the fence? It doesn't go low enough. Okay, what about if we still have the fence, but you see it's got some gaps? So this is almost like they've got a fence, but they've also strung some of this chicken wiry lattice stuff up behind the fence just to stop the chickens from getting out. Then we need to add the same to this side. Look, and I could get another post, just stick that up so it looks like it's actually going into something and not just coming out out the wall. I am in love with this idea. My family has chickens and they used to always struggle with the chicken wire before they got a proper coop made. It would just be layers upon layers of the stuff. So I understand completely what it's like. So what should we grow in Bertie's allotments? We've got pumpkin, mushroom, watermelon, or lettuce, or aubergine. I think aubergine would be fun, and a pumpkin. I don't know why there's two different ones. Now there's one final activity that I need to add before I forget. I've been so excited to add this in for Bertie for ages. It's the flower arranging table. Look at it with the little watering can. We'll stick it here, and then we might have to shift up everything that we've done, which is so sad, but it's my fault. I should have thought about this before I committed. Look at this adorable crate of vegetables. Maybe Bertie just harvested them recently. Oh my gosh, this looks like a leaf blower. We could totally stash it in the shed. I do kind of want to make the shed functional, but I don't know what I could make functional in there. It means I need to have an activity or something. I don't know. Maybe we do just stick with tools. Because look, I've got a rake. Oh, gardening vacuum. Snow shovel as well. Okay, look, a watering can. Absolutely, we need one of those. We could always have, because the shed would be a little bit warmer than outside, we could always have some plants, like little seedlings that he's in the middle of growing up to be something. What does a man who loves flowers need? More flowers! This little rusty sculpture is so cute. I'm kind of just jumping back and forth between each side. Now we've got some massive vegetables here, which could be fun. I can leave one here, like a big pumpkin he hasn't got around to doing anything with yet. I don't know if they spoil if you leave them there for a while. Maybe he's just harvested it. Okay, maybe let's have a go at the shed. I want to start with a shelf. You can get really decorative shelves that fill the room with so much life and you barely have to do anything. So for this build, for example, we want something with a lot of tools, or yeah, like this one, something very gardening-y. I might make this a potting / tool shed. They probably share the shed. That's probably Bonnie's hat that she left in here. Oh, here we go. Look at this one's the perfect one for tools. It's a bit horsey though. You can just ignore that, right? The rake and the shovel are just too good. Look, we've even got a blue wood. Oh, and a blue bench as well. Why is there a tree branch up here? I'm not going to question it. Okay, so we want to fill this shed up with life now. These two, I'm just going to use tool mod to rotate them so that I can have them resting behind this shelf. So we've got our rake. Ooh, and then I'm probably going to tuck this snow shovel up, probably just over here. Yeah, like down the side, because it's just a snow shovel. He wouldn't use it very often. Ooh, we can fit the leaf blower up here. Okay, sure. Don't think we need 2 leaf blowers. Might just, oh, I can fit a watering can up there. That's a bit out of reach though. So let's just do a watering can here. No, actually, we'll do the leaf blower. Can I fit the leaf blower up there? Oh my gosh, I can. That's so good. I am fully aware there is a watering can here as well. However, when you have your own garden, especially if this is like a shared shed that he lets Bonnie use, I don't think you're ever going to have too many watering cans lying about. Look, and then we've got a little seedling. Isn't there like a cluster of them somewhere? Hey, there we go. Can I make the pots all different colors? No, but I can make them dead. No, Bertie takes good care of them. So we'll do the ones in the little cardboard looking pots. I do want to see specifically what came with the greenhouse kit because I think that'd be perfect in here. Cool, so we've got some solutions to help the plants grow. Oh my gosh, we've got so much good stuff. Gardener's hall. Yeah, I like this on the floor. And it even fits slightly under the shelving, like perfectly. Yeah, sure, he'd probably just throw gloves on the floor. And another watering can. Okay, then we've got something that he's mid-planting. I might leave that one outside. I don't want to ruin the functionality of these planters, but also that looks so cute there. Then we'll keep some spare pots in the shed. This is a lot of space to fit not a lot of stuff, so it's probably going to get a little bit cluttered. Oh, look, there's a little seed pot. I'll make this one a different color as if he's, yeah, just growing something different in that one. Maybe on Bonnie's side, this can be a little chest that she keeps her chicken feed and other bits for her garden in. That's very neat. Oh, and then there's some spare pots. I specifically want to put those on the top shelf bit, so I'm going to put them on this little shelf, then move this shelf out the way. away and put them where we like. Perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm so silly. I have completely forgotten a wheelbarrow. That's like one of those obvious things any allotment needs. I love that this one is wooden. Maybe he uses it to transport his vegetables. We could always leave it here. We could always load it with vegetables. Shrink a few down. Tool mod is genuinely the best thing that has happened to me in my entire life. More than being born. Look how alive this looks now. It's so cute. I've got one more thing I want to squeeze inside this little shed, and that's... oh, where's it gone? A little model boat. We've got to. We could just tuck it back here. And then I can always just move the seedlings then so they're in front. Oh my gosh, you know what I should do? What's this, about 0.02? Tell me that's not the cutest. Look, he's using the boat as a little shelf to put the seedlings on. And then I'm going to make them a different color each so they kind of stand out a little bit more. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. I love it. Do you remember back in her office, she had a snake plant and another like cactus? I actually kind of want to make her a little arid cactus garden. They're really hard to grow in the UK, but you can do them. So let's get a few interesting looking cacti. This is some really interesting personality. Let's get rid of these because I kind of just put them down because they were pretty. Isn't there a bathtub somewhere with cacti in? Maybe she had, or Bertie had an old bath before he renovated and he was like, do you want this? And she was like, do you know what? Yes, Bertie, I do want this bathtub. I am going to grow my cacti in this bathtub. It's a very allotmenty thing, I think, to just have an old wagon or bathtub or something. I know it's in here somewhere. Ah, got it. It's in the Strangerville stuff. Clawfoot Fanciful Planter. Oh my gosh, look, it's so perfect. Okay, I might need to rejig everything. I really want to use a different like mishmash of materials as if she's thrown them in whatever she's got. There's even one with soil in it here. Oh, this one's so good for an allotment garden. Look at that. So I'm starting to feel like the insect garden is actually something for Bertie's side. So I'm thinking we just squeeze it into this corner. Now, I don't know if that's actually usable, but it's fine. If it's not, I'm sorry. Okay, so back to our arid garden. This feels like a good layout for the plant pots, and I love how they're all different. I'm basically going to go through every single plant, change the size, and then elevate it with the tool mod to be the perfect height. Okay, and that's our little arid garden. I had to fill the buckets with dirt so that you couldn't just see straight to the bottom. Look, I've just invented a little cactus by getting this pot and putting this cactus together. How cute is that? Now, when you have chickens, they massively like churn up the dirt. So I'm going to put a couple of dirt patches. And then that does look a little weird as it is, but I thought we could just disguise it with some heavy grasses. Wow, the grasses even go up with the terrain. I think this plant almost looks like rhubarb or something a little bit. I'm going to leave a couple leaves of this just like growing at this corner. It's a really pretty plant, actually. I want a dirt that matches this color. Yeah, that's good. Oh, it's got pine in it though. What about this one? Maybe a mix between those two looks best. Okay, now where do the chickens come out of? Probably both sides. So let's go in and yeah, we're just gonna turn their coop into mud basically. Go over with our second color. That looks quite natural. And then I'll take the scratchy in patches because it's just got a little bit of grass peeking through. And then literally just in the grassy patches, literally tapping my mouse, going over with a tiny, tiny bit of faint little grass. Otherwise it doesn't make sense that there's grass growing. Perfect. I'm gonna put a few bags of potting soil down. I mean, really, this should probably be in the shed, but there's not enough space in there at all. I mean, lugging those into her allotment is certainly going to keep her fit. Maybe we'll pop 3 bags on her side, and then I've got this single bag under the wheelbarrow. There you go. Maybe he uses it to stop it from falling over when it's windy. Let's give her somewhere to plant things of her own. Oh, a little bit of grass. We will call that a weed. I can get the same rocks that we used before. Ah, maybe we'll give her some lettuces. Oh, I can even cover up the weed with them. Officer, not like that! I'm going to leave a watering can on Bonnie's side. Again, we need to have watering cans everywhere. You're not a gardener unless you have a watering can everywhere. I say as if I'm growing anything in my garden outside right now. And then in allotments, you see a lot of like posts in the ground. I think they use it to give the vegetables something to grow up. This one's nice and thin and brown. It's supposed to be a lantern post, but today it was left over from where she was growing runner beans last year. And then I've just had a great idea. What about if we got this little net to say she's trying to keep the lettuce protected from the birds? I've just got to make them a little bigger. I could always add one to the other side, as I might not be able to line up the back so well. Okay, I'm going to need to move this post to here. Okay, now our lettuces are contained. I might need to shrink them down quite a lot, actually, because at the moment I could barely fit 2 under there. Here we go. This is looking good. Then for a bit of realism, let's get 3 of the lettuces and just make them a tiny bit bigger. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Our little weed is back. Our little weed friend. Oh my gosh, what if she's got this for like a little bit of shade for the chickens if they're out on a really sunny day because they haven't got anything to hide under? Oh, so much shade. That's so cute. You know, if you're underneath a tree, the ground temperature is significantly cooler. Trees are amazing. And then all I'm gonna do is add a touch of greenery here and there using the same plants that we used in their garden. Maybe we could use this little rhubarby weed stuff again. Another one here. And then just a touch of grass here and there. A little bit of grass back here. It's all the little details that make it. No one's probably gonna even see this, but I know it's there. I know I've put some grass and weeds where she'd never clean, and that's what matters. Last thing I want to do is add this metal frame over this side as if it's something that he uses to help his climbing plants, or maybe it would look better over this side. Then it's sort of a vertical divider between the 2 allotments. I haven't managed to find any sort of ivy or anything to grow up it, but after all the plants are all the way down there, they've barely grown up it yet, so I'm sure that will come in time. Wait, I've solved it. I have. What about wisteria? Can I get this over the archway? I actually think I might be able to here. Oh my gosh, it's gonna look so pretty. Look how good that looks. Guys, with a bit of final terrain painting, I think we are done. I hope you like it. I like that it's a bit more scruffy than their other 2 gardens, and I think it showcases a little something extra about their personality as well. Whew. Well, you've waited over an hour for this, so I hope you like it. It's tour time. It has probably taken me about a month to build this house. I tried to include everything in this video that I thought was important, which is kind of nearly everything, because I hate when people are doing a build. I mean, hate's a strong word, but it's really annoying when you're watching a build and all of a sudden half the house just appears out of nowhere and you think, hang on, how did that item get there? How did that item get there? And I know not every item is important, but with a build like this full of so much personality, it's every choice matters so much. I love building for having particular characters in mind. It means you get to create a whole story along with the build. I hope you love Bonnie and Bertie as much as, well, they love each other. We'll see whenever one of them decides to finally admit it. Because there's just so much to cover, I'm going to do a more in-depth tour. I'll link it here when it's out. I've got a very particular idea in mind for how I want to take you around the build. So we're going to skip out a few rooms now, but if you want to see the full thing, that will be where I'd recommend you go. Yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you've stayed this long somehow, please like it. And if you're not already, consider subscribing. I do things like live videos sometimes, and I know you don't tend to catch that unless you're subscribed. Please also let me know which house was your favourite, because they're very different. I'd like to know which one you would live in. Personally, while Bonnie's house is like really cute and all, I mean, Bertie's got the fun house. So that might sway me, even with that horrible blue carpet, which I don't think ended up looking that badly in the end. The gardens, I think, were my favourite. Do you know what? I'll just be a raccoon. I don't need to live in either of these houses. I'll just be a raccoon. I'll just feast for nuts and trash and whatever else raccoons eat in the back garden. I don't know. Raccoons aren't native to the UK. I don't know what they eat. All I know is never to trust a mysterious faceless stranger in a trench coat, because you never know what be hiding in there. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourself. Have a good morning, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.